Hi everyone. Okay, so I've been having a little play around with the RF-B65 for a few minutes. I've got it tuned to 15490, which is Radio Saudi. It's very noisy in here. I've shut the lid on my laptop, which helps. And I've tuned my Yaesu FRG 7700 to the same station, and I'll do a little comparison with two radios in a minute. But yeah, what a quality piece of kit this radio seems to be. It's got a couple of features that I wasn't aware of actually. So as I said, the biggest difference I think to the RF-B40 is that this radio actually tunes in 1 kilohertz steps, and that was kind of a bit of a fatal flaw for the RF-B40, because it meant that obviously it was very limited in terms of selectivity. But what it's also got is a fine tune, so you can see the controls on the right hand side of the radio. You've got rotary tuning, so that's basically just manual tune. There's a fine tune, and then there's a setting for the lock speed, slow or fast. There's a tone control, low or high, which I've been playing around with just now, and where you've got interference, low seems to work a bit better. There's a hold button, which I assume means that if you set the frequency, it will lock, or it might mean that if you switch the thing off, it won't switch on. I'm not sure yet. And then a volume control, which is actually really nicely weighted. It's got some resistance to it, and yeah, it feels like a sort of quality piece of kit. On the front panel, you can select FM, long wave, medium wave, shortwave from the buttons on the left hand side. There's direct access to the broadcast bands using the meter button here. So basically press that, and then the corresponding numerical key for direct frequency access will take you to the 120 meter band through to 13 meters, which is handy, and that was the same for the RF-B40. Direct frequency input, it's different to the 2001D in that you press the frequency button here first and then enter the frequency using the keys. But it's got so it's got a clock with dual time, and then obviously there's single sideband mode as well, and a sleep timer function. So obviously one of the differences between this and some of the Sony, high-end portables is the fact that they had, synchronous detection. My ICF SW100 and obviously the 2001D, and that's a feature that this portable doesn't have, but that is sort of, I think, at least in part compensated by the fact that you can use this receiver in single sideband mode, which so it'll be very interesting to compare the performance of this radio to a couple of my Sony portables, because from what I've read, this is a very sensitive radio. It's right up there with the best for its kind of class, which is paperback book size portable. It'll be interesting to compare it to the ICF SW55, and then obviously the ICF SW100, and I think it's worthy of a comparison to the 2001D. Other features, so for a kind of top-end portable, as you might expect, there's a sensitivity switch for local or DX. On the other side of the radio, there's an external antenna socket, and the external antenna is just basically a very long piece of wire that's supplied. You can run it off the mains, but it wasn't supplied with the mains power supply, and then obviously a headphone socket. So it's kind of hard to believe that this radio is actually 27 years old. One of the things I suppose that makes that more obvious is the fact that it's supplied with an earpiece, rather than a set of headphone buds or whatever. But it does feel like a very sort of solid quality piece of kit. It was described on the eBay auction as new. It had literally only been used once or twice, and you know, I think I have to say that they're absolutely correct. It literally hasn't got a mark on it. It does actually look like new. You know, there isn't a mark on it anywhere. So I'm really pleased. It wasn't cheap because these are quite well sought after, but I'm really pleased to have managed to obtain one of these portables. So I'll just turn the volume up. What time is it now? Oh, here we go. So I'm tuned to Radio Saudi on the telescopic. There you go. It's not a particularly good signal. So there we go, 15,490. And this is on the low tone setting. And then if I just compare that to the Yaesu, hear the noise. Just tune it. Just hear how noisy it is. What time is it? 10 past 10 BST. So there you go. So there's a comparison. So yeah, really excited to get to grips with this radio. Definitely take it on my next expedition with one of the Sonys, and I think I'm going to take my Roberts R727 because, again, you know, that was a radio that kind of surprised me a little bit in terms of its sensitivity. So I've got to stop buying radios, and I think I'm going to stop now. But as I said, very pleased to finally got hold of one of these really nice classic Panasonic portables. Okay, well, thanks for watching.